Now, I want to show you something. He's on Twitter. He's telling people about his visit to the Nile Lab. So you're going to be seeing this on the Twitter stream in a bit.
He says, no, it's not the first one. Wait, it's not the first one. In our room, it's the first one. Nice. All right, then I have because I am. Also, the social media expert. Who else? Yes. How many people? Okay, someone. Bring up. Use your number. The number, right? People are cooking. You're not sure. How many? 300,000 people have watched Video Go. And the health system in 5 years. We already know media does. And how does it start? It starts like this. This is how it starts. Everybody who can see this, everyone who can see this, all they have to do is click the follow button. So, give me a home out there. When you click home, these are all the people. This is where you follow people from. This is the number of people following, and this is the number of followers. And what's so powerful about this? As you keep... Yes. Before we do introductions. Sounds good? Sounds good? So the question is, where would he have said no?
I believe that you can change any bad system from within. I'll give you an example. I used to be a student leader in Nairobi University in charge of Sunday worship at St. Andrews. All right? Yeah? And then, if you now remember, when I eventually joined politics, the charismatic type of brothers and sisters conspired and said, this Steve is a backslidden fellow. He's got into politics. Today, we have bishops, we have reverends in parliament, because they realized, and I think I studied this in my jurisprudence class. First of all, there are those who hold the view that life is short and brutish, but I don't think it is brutish. It can be short. And that's why these days when I hear that we're losing loved ones on our roads because of careless driving, it's terrible. But the point I'm making is that if you know my background, where I was born in Sekuru, yeah, and how I grew up, I used to look after goats and sheep without trousers, any type, yeah, not even pants.
Just empty.
First of all, you know, this country is now 65% young. 65% of Kenyans today are aged below 30 years. So it's a very young nation. And the vision I have is to be able to endow this young country with the kind of empowerment that will make you become what I said you have to become in Africa. Therefore, this youth unemployment, for instance, is an issue that we must deal with. You remember I talked about working 24 hours. I talked about the 24-hour economy. And President Kibaki actually beat me at it. He declared in the Mombasa airport a 24-hour airport, for a 24-hour port. If we work hard, we'll be able to get youth going to work, working in shifts. What I had in mind, in my vision, was that there will be youths working in the industrial area. Thika, for instance, should become, when I was growing up, Thika was the industrial town. We want all these other big towns, Kisumu, Kakamega, Mombasa, to be growth centers. Now, under the new constitution, most of them are county headquarters. And if we now devolve to that level and bring in investment at that level, create cottage industries, we are going to get our youth employed. I would want to see them clearly not being beholden to drug abuse and things like those. So you'll be hearing from me. Joroge, thank you. But thank you for coming all the way from Kakamega. I mean, honestly, that is called commitment.
Most important thing for young people in Kenya that we don't have, one of the things that are really important is the ability to own our country. Ownership, all right? Own the country. Because in as much as people bring in all these new ideas on how we can be able to do stuff, if they can do stuff for us, I'm not waiting for him to come and launch the Nile app for me. It was up to me to help put this together, yeah?
We have a fight there, and we are being told that all the projects at regional level, it's so limited in terms of resources.
I need to ask that question because I think it's a very important question. I'm sure all of us here have heard of the Youth Development Fund. I want to suggest whoever administers that fund should first of all come to this center and see what it can be, what empowering the youth can actually mean for all of us in this country. Because there's a lot of money, and commercial banks have been given money, as well, of course, as Women Development Fund, but a lot of youths do not know how to access this funding. And quite honestly, when I walked around here, I was very impressed. And with perhaps 100,000 shillings loan, not even that. One can get even 1 million shillings. Because somebody was at that corner. I think it was you telling me that. And in 1 month, they made 3 million shillings.
Hang on. I choose what question he answers. Now, this is extremely important for us guys to balance it out. We've not had any of these.
Today is the 1st of September. Before the end of this month, I hope and pray to God that we're going to have the first major irrigation project in Lower Eastern Province. And it's going to be in my constituency. 300 million shillings. We're going to irrigate out of River Tana. And this is a joint project between Moi University, and Mwingi County Council, and the people I represent in Parliament. 5,000 acres available for irrigation. Wow. We hope we are going to kick poverty and hunger out of that area. We're also starting a similar thing in a place called Kalonzo in Kibwezi. We are going to do a similar thing, 300 million shillings each in Mbasweni. This is in Wajir South. And therefore you can see that this is the way to go. We cannot continue to rely on rain-fed agriculture. Therefore I congratulate you and others like you who are thinking so positive. Thank you.
I have a follow-up question. Before we do that, I have a follow-up clue last year that this was going to happen this year. We knew the year before last year it's going to happen because it's a very recurrent cyclic thing. It's we always have drought, then we have floods, then we have drought, then we have floods. Is there something specific that's causing us, I know you asked this question there, is there something specific that's causing us to be unable to either harness the water that comes in floods during in a dam or to be able to irrigate the land people are in? Is there something, is it a political thing? Is it a donor thing? Is it a money thing? Is there any specific problem that has avoided us from doing what Egypt and as Liz mentioned, Israel and other Sahara Desert aligned countries have done? Is there something going on?
I don't think it's a political problem. First of all, a worldwide problem. The reality of climate change is here with us. For instance, this current drought, you ask the environmentalists, they'll tell you it's the worst in 60 years. All right? And this is encompassing Kenya, South Sudan, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Somalia. Somalia is terrible. All right? But I think that there are things that we can also begin to avoid doing. I know that we have not as a country got to a stage where every family can use liquefied gas for cooking, right? Therefore, we rely on charcoal. And we are cutting down trees, not just finishing Mao Forest wherever, but we are cutting down trees wherever.
How many people, get straight out there, how many people watch news on TV? How many? 6 million is low.